Hi Science 10, welcome to the last video lesson for the biology unit. And it is on how a plant controls its growth. Venus flytrap video was so cool, check that out. And so tropisms is our topic today. And these are responses that a plant has to either grow towards something or away from something. And the first one we'll talk about is phototropism, which is when a plant grows towards light. And so basically, we know that if the light is shining this way, our plant is going to grow towards it. And you can turn your plant, but it will still grow towards the light. So what they know is that the tip of the top of the plant is going to make auxin when the light is shining on it. The auxin will diffuse down into the plant, but it will always collect on the shady side. So it'll collect on the shady side, and what it does is it's a hormone that will allow a plant to grow more. So the shady side grows more, that way the whole plant is always turning towards the light, maximizing photosynthesis. So that the sunlight can hit its leaves. So Darwin noticed that it was the tip of the plant that was detecting the light. And Peter Boysen-Jensen tested this and checked which things, this kind of a neat experiment. He just had the regular plant. He cut off the tip and it did not turn towards the sunlight. So our sunlight is over here. If he covered it with an opaque or dark cap, it also didn't detect the light, so it did not turn. If it was a clear cap, though, it turned towards the light. If it was something opaque that's lower down, it still turned towards the light. If it was a gelatin block, it still turned towards the light. But if it was mica, like rock, that was covering or like cutting off the tip, the auxin couldn't get down, and so it did not turn towards the light. So there's some cool examples of the experiments done by Darwin and Boysen-Jensen. So auxin was given the name of that hormone that is basically transported down and collects on the shady side. So there you go, that's phototropism. Gravitropism is when a plant grows in response to gravity. The stem will go up against gravity, and so that's negative gravitropism, whereas the roots are going to grow towards gravity, and that's positive gravitropism. So if we've got the positive and negative, positive is that it grows towards the gravity, the roots, and negative would be the stem growing away from gravity. And that's how the plant naturally grows. So even if you tip it, it will still have the stem and leaves grow away from gravity. And this will happen no matter which way you turn the plant. So if you turn it on its side, we'll still have the leaves growing up and the roots going down. And so we can see this turned plant and see that it's still auxin that is causing the different rates of growth. So auxin is involved in not only the response to light, but the response to gravity. And we'll still always have our roots growing downwards towards gravity, the positive gravitropism. Okay, another idea is that maybe there is some starch grains that collect in the lowest point and may also influence the fact that the roots grow down. Okay, number 3, this is the nastic response, and this is how touching a plant will cause a leaf to collapse, and basically there is some electrical signal that drops the trigger pressure and causes it. Basically, that's how a insect landing on a Venus flytrap, for example, that touch of it touching the leaf will cause it to close up, And basically we know that it's got enzymes that can digest insects. So those plants that are carnivorous plants do actually digest the insects that they consume and use the nitrogen from them. So carnivorous plants are pretty cool, and lots of cool videos to check out here. All right, number 4, thigmotropism is when a touch makes rapid growth happen. So this is an example of why tendrils, like from peas and maybe beans and other vines that come into contact with a fence or some other tree that's nearby, will wrap itself around it and support itself. And that is thigmotropism. And that wraps up our biology unit. Try this page out, guys. It's page 29.